Does minimalism really decreases stress? Well, look, minimalism in itself is a way of life that originated from art. Therefore, anything that originates from art does require a lot of fantasy, does require a lot of wishful thinking, does require a lot of free time, and you're not really in a serious situation when you're thinking about minimalism and maximalism and how to live your life. I think it is a privilege to have such philosophical problems going around your head. Because people, when they are in real life situations, they don't have these philosophical delicacies, if you will. It's a problem for people who have lots of time and people who have vacancy. They can get to be artistic in their lives. But people living in refugee camps, people who have a lot of serious debt problems or medical problems or any sort of real life problems, they won't get to tell themselves, well, I should be minimalistic. I should be a maximalist. When you're doing that, know for a fact that your life is already awesome. Know how fortunate that you are, that you have problems that are philosophical. When your problems are philosophical, you are really fortunate. So this is a problem for fortunate people. Address that, acknowledge that, feel a sense of gratitude for having that. Then proceed into thinking about the topic. Minimalism in itself is maximalism. And maximalism in itself is minimalism. I think there is a yin and yang kind of a deal. Why do I say that? Because when you tell yourself you want to minimize things, you're maximizing free space. And when you want to fill up your house, you're minimizing any free space. So it is what it is. Because it started from the world of art, pardon me, therefore it's always gonna have this contradictory nature to it. It will always give you these vibes of being intellectually awkward in a mentally stimulating kind of a way. It's not awkwardness that is wrong, that is bad, that is not good, but awkwardness that is stimulating. It is absolutely remarkable to have that. So, with all of that diplomatic introduction, you can say, let me tell you what I really think about minimalism and how I practiced it and how it helped me in my life and how it did hurt me in certain aspects. When your life becomes a laboratory, a lab project, if you will, when your life is an example of you checking if this said theory is correct or not, when your life is like that, you kind of feel used. So when I practice minimalism, I say to myself, what do people who advocate for minimalism think about me right now? Think about what I am at right now. What do people who advocate for maximalism think of me right now when I'm in this specific situation? What I notice is that whenever my life gets to be more and more serious, the more that I get rid of both. But the more that I am all alone, I tend to go to maximalism whenever I want to have fun. And I go to minimalism whenever I'm dealing with anything that is serious. And what do I mean about that? When I'm thinking about something that is serious, I tend to be very minimalistic about it. I don't want it to take more time than it's really needed to. But when it's all about fun, I want to maximize that. What ended up happening is that I started to not enjoy fun, and I started to do bad with the real thing. So real life things, I started to mess them up. Let me give you an example. I had to do something for my bank. I had to do something for my job. I had to do something for my university. When I was younger, when I was a university student, right now I graduated. So I told myself, let me take to the office the bare minimum amount of required papers, the bare minimum account of this amount of this and that. And then I started to, get told that, no, you're missing that paper, you're missing this paper, no, you need to have that phone number on you, that email, this, etc., etc. So then I got angry. So what I did is this. I started to hoard everything, and I started to bring an entire bag so full of documents. When they tell me, well, we need 2 copies of this, I make literally 20 copies of everything that they ask me. Then they said to me, well, when you used to give us just 1 paper, we're asking for 2, now you gave us 20. You're fighting something. You're kind of regretting minimalism. So you're taking it right now on this next assignment, if you will, and you're exaggerating because you want to feel some kind of a retribution. You want to get rid of that frustration, and you want to make sure that you don't get annoyed again. So you exaggerated. You had rhythm before. What happened? You used to glide through all of that with nothing, messing you up. You had rhythm. You were just simply correct. You had the correct amount of papers. You had the correct needed contacts or whatever, and everything and anything. Right now, you're just doing it out of rhythm. So I said to myself, minimalism and maximalism, when it comes to real life, they're gonna annoy you. But whenever there is something in your life that is artistic, then enjoy minimalism and maximalism. In your decorations, in anything artistic that you do, in anything artistic that you wear, for example. And understand that minimalism actually maximizes your reception to anything. So for example, if you have a gigantic frame and you want to paint something, when you paint something right in the middle and all around it are, just an empty white space, it's going to highlight what is in the center. So emptiness actually maximizes just how potent this figure that you drew, or the colors, all the colors become more potent, and I adore this word, potent. You start to embrace all of that effect easily. It's more palatable. But when you crowd this image, and you look at this image, imagine if you drew 60 bunnies, 60 rabbits. You won't enjoy each individual rabbit unless you take up a lot of time. But when you draw a single rabbit, and you take good care of it, and you might draw 60 rabbits and take even more care about them, but the observer won't get to feel the full effect immediately. And when you say, all right, reserve it, take it step by step and enjoy the 60 bunnies in the image gradually. Not everybody, not everybody, I said everybody, not everybody is gonna enjoy that. Not everybody can necessarily feel that it is enjoyable to them. Why does that happen? Well, because people have other things in their lives. So when you want to enjoy anything, like a video game, etc., sometimes when you're dying to play a video game, you really don't want to play for hours and hours. You want to play one satisfying match and then go on with your life. Probably sometimes you're on a holiday or whatever and you want to play 60 games. I get it. But sometimes just one good satisfying match would satiate your needs and desire. So when you think about minimalism and maximalism, don't make that debate becomes a whole battle in your head. It's just depleting and it's exhausting, and at the end of the day, it's yin and yang. And have a nice day. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share, comment, and follow, and check out the playlist Brain Drain podcast. And have a nice day. görüşmek üzere. Ευχαριστώ που παρακολουθήσατε.